From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. Climate action organizers are demanding that President Joe Biden fulfill his campaign promise to end fossil fuel extraction on public lands. The youth-led direct action group Climate Defiance staged a blockade at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday in Washington, D.C. The protest came weeks after the Biden administration approved Willow, the massive oil drilling project on federal lands in Alaska. It also comes a month after an oil and gas lease sale of 1.6 million acres of offshore waters in the Gulf of Mexico went forward. Climate Defiance said Biden promised an end to new leasing on federal lands, but failed to deliver. The group said the environmental voting bloc delivered Biden the 2022 midterm elections. Research shows voters between the ages of 18 and 29 were crucial to Biden's victory in 2020. According to Pew Research, 62% of young voters support a complete phase-out of fossil fuels. Florida Governor Ron Desantis on Thursday scolded a journalist for asking him about his time working as a naval judge advocate general at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. DeSantis was asked about allegations that he was present on at least one occasion when a former Guantanamo detainee was force-fed by guards to quash a hunger strike. Before the reporter could finish his question, DeSantis snapped, No, all that's BS, totally BS. The United Nations has deemed force-feeding a form of torture. Mansour Adaifi is a Yemeni citizen who was imprisoned without charge at Guantanamo for 14 years. He tweeted about DeSantis, I will never forget his face. He was laughing and smiling watching me being tortured on the force-feeding chair. Al-Daifi was finally released from Guantanamo in 2016 without ever being charged with a crime. He told Mike Pressner's Eyes Left podcast in November that guards brutally force-fed him and other prisoners cans of Ensure in 2006 to break a hunger strike. He claimed DeSantis was there for at least one torture session. DeSantis is believed to be preparing a bid for the 2024 GOP presidential nomination. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says the presence of even one American soldier in Iraq is too much. Khamenei made the remarks in a meeting on Saturday with Iraq's President Abdul Latif Rashid. Rashid is on his first official visit to Iran's capital, Tehran, since taking office last October. Iran's leader told the visiting official the U.S. is not the friend of anyone and not even loyal to Europeans, his office said. Khamenei called for the expansion of bilateral cooperation between Tehran and Baghdad. Earlier in the year, Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi held delegation-level talks with his Iraqi counterpart, followed by a joint press conference. Raisi said Iran deems the presence of foreign forces in the region a source of insecurity. He added a security cooperation agreement was reached between the two sides. German authorities are facing heavy criticism since a viral video showed a Muslim immigrant child forcefully being removed from his family in the city of Bremerhaven. The video, widely shared on social media, showed police and child protection agency officers entering a house and forcefully taking a little boy from his family. The frightened child can be seen crying for help and trying to resist the officers. Family members could be seen shouting at the officers, telling them the little boy had some health issues, he was distressed and should not be taken away. One of the police officers was heard telling the family it was a decision by the court and that they were there to carry out the court order. Many social media users on Friday criticized the police for misconduct and accused the Youth Welfare Office of unjustly taking children from their parents. The Youth Welfare Office in Bremerhaven did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Emirati astronaut Sultan Al-Neyadi has become the first Muslim, Arab, and Emirati to walk in outer space. United Arab Emirates Vice President Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said this milestone comes after 3 years of intensive training. The UAE launched its astronaut program in 2017 to train and prepare a team of Emiratis to be sent on various scientific missions in space. Al Maktoum said Al Neyadi installed new components and performed maintenance on the International Space Station. NASA confirmed the success of Al Neyadi and NASA astronaut Steve Bowen's mission, which lasted nearly 7 hours. The Taliban have welcomed a resolution by the UN Security Council acknowledging that Afghanistan faces multifaceted challenges. The group, however, called the ban on women working in the country an internal social matter. The Afghan Foreign Minister Abdul Qahar Balkhi said Afghanistan has suffered from decades-long conflict, often imposed by foreign powers. He added the path to post-conflict recovery requires the unconditional removal of UN multilateral and unilateral sanctions and restrictions. He also called for the provision of humanitarian and development assistance to the country. Balkhi noted the Council's condemnation of the decision to restrict women from working with with the UN in Afghanistan. He added, "We remain committed to ensuring all rights of Afghan women while emphasizing that diversity must be respected and not politicized." Provocative attacks continue against the Quran in Denmark. Details after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Another provocative attack has been carried out on the Quran and the Turkish flag in front of the Turkish embassy in Denmark's capital, Copenhagen. The provocateur, a member of the anti-Muslim Patriotern Garliv, carried a disrespectful banner with insulting slogans against Islam, and it attacked the Turkish flag. The Islamophobic group has carried out the same attacks 3 times before, with the first on March 24th, the next on March 31st, and another on April 14th. While there was no violence during the provocation, Danish authorities informed the Turkish embassy in Copenhagen in advance and took necessary security measures. Brandishing a bolt-action rifle, civil servant Sanjit Kumar is among 5,000 Kashmiri villagers who have joined all Hindu militia units armed and trained by Indian forces. Authorities announced the new militias last year, and a deadly rebel assault in Kumar's frontier village in January prompted him to sign up. India has more than 500,000 soldiers permanently stationed in Indian-controlled parts of Muslim-majority Kashmir. The Hindu nationalist government has been pressing a bid to crush a decades-long insurgency there. Kashmir has been a disputed region between India and Pakistan since both countries achieved independence 75 years ago. Both sides claim the territory in full. India has fought against rebel groups who demand the territory's independence or merger with Pakistan in an insurgency that has claimed tens of thousands of lives. Israeli troops shot dead a Palestinian teenager near the West Bank town of Bethlehem on Friday, the Palestinian Health Ministry said. The Israeli army said they killed 16-year-old Mustafa Amir Sabah for throwing stones. An AFP photographer saw relatives at a Bethlehem hospital gathering around Sabah's body, which was wrapped in a Palestinian flag. The teenager's death comes a day after Israeli soldiers shot dead a Palestinian the army accused of attempting to carry out a car-ramming attack in the northern West Bank. Friday's shooting brings to 100 the number of Palestinians killed in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict so far this year. 19 Israelis, 1 Ukrainian, and 1 Italian have been killed over the same period, according to an AFP count based on official sources from the two sides. These figures include combatants as well as civilians, and on the Israeli side include 3 members of the Arab minority. London auction house Sotheby's has once again attracted attention with a multi-million-dollar sale of some of the rarest and most valuable works of Islamic art. Its April 26 bidding featured pieces that span from the first centuries of Islam to the early 19th century. The auction brought in $15.7 million. Items sold include textiles, ceramics, metalwork, and painting. Benedict Carter is the head of Sotheby's Islamic and Indian art department. He told Andalu agency that the auction encompasses different types of material culture from across the Islamic world. The highest priced item sold was a folio from the 16th century Shahnameh. An Australian man recorded on CCTV allegedly spitting in an imam's face in Indonesia could spend more than 1 year in jail. Footage purportedly shows Brenton Craig Abbas Abdullah MacArthur walking up to Imam Basri Anwar at a mosque in Bandung. He is seen speaking to him before appearing to spit at him. Anwar is then seen running away while MacArthur leaves the mosque. Police said MacArthur is originally from Perth in Western Australia. Indonesian media outlet Kumparan said MacArthur has been charged under laws relating to carrying out unpleasant acts and insults, which carry up to 14 months in jail. On Instagram, MacArthur denied any wrongdoing, claiming he had been the victim of racism. MacArthur, who is white, said, "Stop crying all your racist tears. I am a Muslim, and this is just racist," threatening a bule, Indonesian term for a foreigner, and laughing, being a coward. Anwar told an Indonesian news site he believed MacArthur was disturbed by a recitation of the Quran over a loudspeaker in the early morning hours. Before we end today's news, I'd like to make a special request. It takes our team a combined 55 hours of work daily to produce this news for you. It is news with a unique perspective, and you will find it only here. Sound Vision is a not-for-profit organization which produces it, and just like PBS and NPR, it depends on your donations. Please visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, or click the link below to donate. Thank you. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Salam and good night.